What's up, everybody? This is XLR21, and I'm finally back. As I know, I'm a few days late on these updates and these news reports. Just a few days. I've been busy, but now I finally have some free time to discuss what's been going on with everything involving Snyder and the DC Universe, Warner Brothers. So let's just get right to it. The Warner Brothers era that we have been dealing with for the past few years is no more. At least that's what it's looking like at the moment. As we know, this last Friday, the merger with Warner Brothers and Discovery has finally been completed. It is official. Now there are new CEOs in charge, and the days leading up to the merger from this last Friday, there were some major announcements, such as the CEO Ann Sarnoff was being removed, Jason Kilar was being removed. It's been crazy, like a huge change in management. And as we know, the CEO of Discovery, David Zaslav, is taking over the newly formed company Warner Brothers Discovery, which is what its new name now. Which, for us Snyder fans, this is great news. Now, the merger has been in development for months, and it was announced a long time ago. It just took some time for it to be finalized. And this whole time, us Snyder fans have been. This has been basically like a ray of hope for us, because as we know, the previous CEOs like Sarnoff and Kilar, as well as other bosses of different divisions like Walter Hamada and Toby Emmerich were very much against Zack Snyder. They treated him poorly. They were against his vision. They were very reluctant around him. They didn't want anything to do with him, and it wasn't even for any good reason. As a matter of fact, they just couldn't handle the fact that Snyder had good plans for the DC Universe. This was all about their egos, trying to protect their egos. They just couldn't handle the fact that someone had better ideas than them and that they were successful. So they were trying to do everything in their power to try to erase his DC Universe and his characters. So months leading up to the merger, there's no doubt they were doing everything they could to try to sabotage everything before they had to leave, because they probably knew that once Discovery and Warner Brothers merged, when it was finalized, that most of them wouldn't be staying. And that's been the case so far. Sarnoff and Kilar are out. That's two of the four people that were very anti-Snyder at the company, and those were like the two. That was like the head of the snake. You take off the snake's head, the rest of the body dies. That type of I think that's how the saying goes. But yeah, those were like the two biggest enablers of any bosses below them that were very much against Snyder and treated him poorly. So now David Zaslav will be taking their place, as well as finding new bosses and CEOs for different divisions that he's moving around and changing leadership in. So this is a major step forward for us Snyder fans, because if there's any hope for the Snyderverse to be restored, it's with David Zaslav. Because Zaslav is, from what I hear, he's a very strict or tough boss, but he does for what's best for the company. He does it for business. He wants to make a profit off this company and studio, which is how you keep a business like that going. It makes sense that you have that particular mindset. So, and of course, as we saw, Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max was very, very successful. They'll try to hide the numbers, because Warner Brothers has never really officially released the numbers that it made for HBO Max. They released the numbers for every other movie that went on HBO Max but the Zack Snyder's Justice League. So if anybody has access to those numbers, it's going to be Zaslav now. He has, control over the company, and any people that were still very much anti-Snyder, while any people that are still there that are still very much anti-Snyder, like Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada, they don't have as much power as they used to. They have to answer directly now to Zaslav, and he can override any decision they make. And here's the thing. It was frustrating to hear that Toby Emmerich was staying with the company, even though Sarnoff and Kilar were leaving. But the thing is, his contract expires at the end of this year, so just a few more months. So our guess is that Discovery just thought it was cheaper and probably just best to just ride out those last few months of his contract and then let him leave, rather than just have to spend some money to buy out his contract now. Like, just let him finish his last few months, then let him go. Don't renew his contract. Find someone else to replace him. And those next few months are perfect to find the next replacement, so they've got time to, find someone suitable. As for Walter Hamada, his future is somewhat like unknown as of right now, because as we know, his contract was extended until the end of 2023. So that's at least another year and a half with Walter Hamada as the president of the DC Films division, and just anything that DC does in terms of media. So we don't know if Discovery's going to probably buy out his contract or what they're going to do in that division, because like I said, the merger just completed a few days ago. So Zaslav has not fully explored the company in its entirety yet, but he's going to have a lot of time now to overlook everything, go over the reports, the records, and everything, the management, the CEOs, the bosses under the different divisions. He's going to be going over all of that over the next few weeks and months to make sure that everything is in place the way he wants to be. And we know that one of his previous interviews, he stated how he was very much very keen on making sure to rebuild broken relationships from the past management. Some examples of those being Christopher Nolan and what they did with the streaming and how that really pushed away Nolan for his next movie. Now, of course, he didn't list anybody, but specifically call anyone by name when he said that quote, but we're able to assume who he meant by that stuff. Of course, Nolan being one of them. And we're hoping Zack Snyder is among that list of people he wants to restore a good business relationship with. Because, as we know, Warner Brothers has not treated Snyder well. They treated him like garbage for a long, long time, and for no good reason. They never once have justified their reasons for treating Snyder the way they did. So we're hoping that under this new management, it will be more welcoming towards Zack Snyder, because he said he's open to do more Justice League and more DC content just under the right management. That's the thing. So we're hoping Zaslav sees the potential of the Snyderverse and gets in contact with Snyder himself, like saying, hey, let's see what we can work out here, that type of thing. So overall, these last few days and weeks have been a very great step in the right direction for us Snyder fans, the Snyderverse, who want to see it restored and everything, as well as seeing the Ayer cut released, David Ayer's Suicide Squad. That is something I still very much want to see, and that a lot of people still want to see. There's so much potential behind it as well, and it'll be a lot cheaper to complete than it would be than what the Snyder cut was, because David Ayer's Suicide Squad is more completed than what Snyder's Justice League was. So it wouldn't cost as much money to finish it overall and then release it on HBO Max. So like I said, for us Snyderverse fans, it's been a great few weeks in the right direction. Hopefully, let's hope it keeps going in this good path. We'll most likely be getting more and more updates as the weeks and months progress. So I hope Zaslav can deliver on more occasions, because he seems to be like the man with a plan, and if anyone can restore the Snyderverse, it's him now. So yeah, I just wanted to run by that, express my feelings and feelings about it. I hope that this is a turn for the better. So thank you very much for watching this video. Feel free to leave a like, share this video out. I'd be grateful if you subscribed, and I'll keep you up to date. See you guys later.